We're 1 day away from Royals' home opener, one delayed for months because of the pandemic. So let's check back in again with 41 Action News anchor Taylor Hemness with a Royals VIP. Taylor.
Good morning from Kauffman Stadium here with 1 day before the home opener at Kauffman Stadium. Excited to talk about what's going to happen here when we're finally getting a game. It's going to be 7 games into the season by the time they get back here tomorrow. I'm very glad to be joined by the new owner of the team, John Sherman. Mr. Sherman, thank you for your time this morning. We appreciate you having us out. I'd be not doing my job correctly if I didn't first ask you about your new minority owner in Patrick Mahomes. That was big announcement this week. A lot of people excited about that. It got to be great to have him part of the team.
We're very excited about it. And, you know, Patrick, as you know, he's an unusual young man, but he's doing this for the right reasons. He loves Kansas City, he loves baseball, and obviously did some things on the other side of the parking lot over here that was pretty spectacular.
That's one way of putting it. Did some things on the other side of the parking lot. And comes from a baseball background, too, with his father. So.
No, again, doing it for the right reasons. He loves baseball, he loves Kansas City, which really is consistent throughout our ownership group. So he met all the criteria. And the fact that he's a global superstar probably helps us get a little attention.
Absolutely. Buying a Major League Baseball team is a long process. This was not just something that was figured out pretty quickly. It's after you're announced, and there's an entire process you have to go through. During that process last year, there's no way to forecast what this season is going to look like. No one knew this was coming, even after you were announced as what was going to be the owner. Was there any way to prepare yourself and then get hit with an entirely different thing? You're getting ready to be an owner for the first time, and then you've got a whole new set of circumstances.
You know, I don't know that there's any way to specifically prepare yourself for a global pandemic and kind of what we're dealing with. But I think if you look at the experience of our ownership group, and I can just tell you, from my perspective, you know, running a public company during 9/11 and also through the financial crisis, so we've got a group of collective experiences in our leadership group that, you know, this is different. But I think when you've been through crises before, one of the things you learn is you don't want to overreact, but you don't want to underreact, but you want to be thoughtful. And the main thing is don't panic. So I'm very proud of the way that our ownership group is embracing this in a situation none of us could have anticipated, but also the organization. I'm very impressed and inspired by the Kansas City Royals, what they've done in the community, and particularly the baseball guys too, the way that they stayed ready during this down period. A lot of resilience and just very impressed with how we've conducted ourselves.
It feels like it's a lot to do with perspective. You said before we started our interview, hey, we're just a couple of games out at the end of July, and that's a certain way to look at it.
Who thought that?
I mean, how important is perspective whenever you're presented with these kind of circumstances?
Yeah, I think we can. I think, as I mentioned, we don't get to write the script, but we can choose how we respond to unforeseen circumstances. And I think our group has done a great job. So yeah, keep it in perspective. Baseball, this is a challenging period business-wise, but you know, baseball is not going anywhere. 2020 is challenging, but we're excited to be back here playing baseball tomorrow for sure, for our fans who can't be here, but we hope they watch us and listen to us. But yeah, perspective is very important.
Big news this week out of Miami with the Marlins situation with multiple players testing positive. How much of I mean, I know as a fan of baseball, we're all kind of going, oh no. I mean, there's that bit of shockwave run through you. From the business side of it, from the team side of it, when you hear of another team going through that, what's your reaction? What's your kind of, not doomsday scenario, but what plays through your mind?
Well, you know, the situation with the Marlins was concerning. And in one way, I think, well, we wished it hadn't happened. In some ways, it might be a wake-up call that it happened early in our season. I'm very proud of the way that MLB and our club kind of prepared to get us back on the field, both at the MLB, you know, our health and safety protocols are world-class, you know, as demonstrated by the Marlins situation. We're not in control of everything, but, you know, the good news is I think that the other 29 teams are in pretty good shape right now. I'm kind of knocking on wood, and that we built this plan to be durable. You know, the Marlins aren't playing, I think, through Sunday, but we matched up the Orioles and the Yankees, who were going to play the Marlins and the Phillies respectively. Yes, and everybody else has kind of stayed back on the field. I think we missed another game, the Nationals and the Phillies. But anyway, the rest of us are staying on, and we do believe that we'll be able to make up those games if people stay healthy and do the right things, that we'll be able to get back on track.
Before we end, I have to ask you, is there pressure on baseball to get this done? I mean, how bad would it be for all of professional sports if something were to happen that even with a 60-game season, baseball can't get through? Does the league feel pressure to, we've got to figure out a way to get this done, because if we can't make it, that's a bad sign?
Yeah, I would say that the league would like to make the, above all, you know, we're trying to be an example of how to go back to work safely. We want to use our platforms to make a difference in our communities. And really, above all, we'd like to provide enjoyment and normalcy for our fans during these unprecedented times. But that's all secondary to the health and safety of our players and our staff and our associates in our communities and our fans.
Yes, sir. Mr. Sherman, we appreciate your time this morning. I would elbow bump you, or yeah, we can do that, but I appreciate your time this morning.
Can't do that, it's against the rules.
Yeah, looking forward to a home opener of some sort tomorrow, so that's going to be great to have the team back here.
Super excited to be here, and thanks for having me today.
Absolutely. Thank you very much. Again, live from Kauffman Stadium, one day before the home opener for the Royals. Taylor Hemness, 41 Action News. Back to you.